And once you learn to fake that, then you got it made. That's one of my little secrets. I've always asked my guests for some little maxim, something inspirational. One time, I had the New York TV critic from Newsday, Marvin Kidman, he asked me if I wear a toupee. I said, no, it's not a toupee, it's real hair. But Bob Hope was on the same panel. Bob Hope says, if you're bald in the front, that means you're a thinker. If you're bald in the back, that means you're a lover. If you're bald in the front and the back, that means you think you're a lover. Bob Hope, by the way, this is not true story. He was 99 and a half years old. His daughter says, Daddy, I know it's kind of ugly, Daddy, but when it's time to go, you want to be buried in Las Vegas or Beverly Hills or San Francisco. He says, 99, he couldn't see, he couldn't hear. He says, surprise me. And I got, when Jack Benny was on my show a couple times, Jack Benny was a violinist, so when he goes to the White House, you know what, when President Roosevelt needed cheering up, he would send for Eddie Cantor. When President Truman needed cheering up, he would send for Jack Benny. So Jack Benny goes to the White House carrying his violin. Security guy says, what do you got in that case, Mr. Benny? So Jack Benny says something he shouldn't have said. He said, a bomb. Security man says, thank God, I thought it might be a violin. But I was talking with Father Andrew about the morality, about the profanity. I was taken off the air once for 2 weeks. My sponsor was Camel cigarettes. I said 9 out of 10 doctors who tried Camels went back to women. And I was taken off the air, really. It's no joke. But I got a little sad news this morning. A little sad news. A friend of mine, a doctor, got in trouble. He's my relative. He got in trouble having sex with his patients. And the reason I'm so upset, he's one of the best veterinarians I know. I don't really do comedy. Billy Crystal did me, as you might know, on Saturday Night Live for 4 years. First time I saw Billy Crystal as Joe Frank, and I said, Billy, one of us is lousy. That's what I commented. I want to thank Billy for what he did. There's one story that maybe, well, I want to say my favorite guest ever was Georgie Jessel. Remember Georgie Jessel, anybody?
Yes.
He did about 7 eulogies a day. There was his whole living doing eulogies. He'd always make the exact same speech. He would say, my dear friend, my beloved friend, my childhood friend, I'm going to miss this man. One day the coffin was a little bit open. He said, oh my God, I knew this man. That's what you call, you know, a little hypocritical. And one day, Georgie, these were days of live TV. Georgie came in late in the middle of the show. Professor Erwin Koresh says, I bet you Georgie at the hospital now, awaiting the birth of his next wife. He was famous for marrying young people. I want to tell you one thing. Listen. You're a baby. Listen. Tell the baby I work alone. Listen. I've told this on radio, and if you heard it before, please forgive me. I'll just wind up by telling you a story that I got from. I was the first one to do business on, you know, on TV. This came from the Makeover King, the corporate raider, Carl Icahn. He owned TWA Airlines. He had a woman flying to Israel, so he says to the crew, keep this lady very happy, she's very important in my activities, she subsidizes my different affairs. So she gets on the plane with a dog, they put the dog in steerage, gets to Israel, and guess what? The dog is dead. So they run to the captain, terrible, Mr. Goldberg's dog, dead. So, oh my, we're all gonna get fired. So listen, I got one idea. About 10 minutes into Jerusalem, we're into tell me, it's a veterinarian shop, maybe, you could match the dog, maybe. They say, we'll try it. They race down with the dead dog, and guess what? They're able to match the dog. They come back, put the live dog in, say, take out the dead dog, give the live dog to Mrs. Goldberg. She says, that's not my dog. I said, what do you mean it's not? Of course, she knows, not my dog. Of course they know, she knows, not my dog. My dog is dead. I'm bringing my dog to Israel to bury it. That's a true story. Listen, I just want to tell you again, it's such a thrill. Let me take one more fast one, tiny one. There was once a vaudeville team known as Block and Sully. They were like Burns and Allen, and her phrases included some nerve, I'll say, I would tell that to all the girls. So anyhow, they broke up, they stayed married, and he goes out to Hollywood one day to the Hillcrest Country Club to meet all his clients. They're standing there, Eddie Cantor, Georgie Jessel, Al Jolson, Rudy Valley, Harry Richmond. There's one lady who was not his client, that was Fanny Bryce. Remember the name Fanny Bryce, anybody? Baby Snooks? Yeah. So he says, Miss Bryce, I'm so excited. She had terminal Alzheimer's. She was chronic. She was 59, so she died at the age of 59 of Alzheimer's. They said, he says, Miss Bryce, I'm so thrilled to see you. She goes, ooh. He said, I'm so excited. Well, my wife and I broke in vaudeville in Los Oriental in Chicago. We're in the same bill with you. She goes, oh. He says, we were only 2 young kids to be on the bill with Fanny Price. It was such a thrill for us. And then we wanted to get $7,500. We were getting $75,000. You were getting $7,500. She says, no, $10,000. So money talks. I want to say again, it's a thrill to be here. That's all. I'll make a toast like I always ask for. Eddie Cannon said it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. I think Harry Ritz said, may you live as long as you want, may you never want as long as you live. And Al Jolson on New Year's Eve on my show, he said, here's a toast to our wives and sweethearts, may they never meet. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Joe. Was he unbelievable? Words of wisdom. The next award goes to an individual who keeps our chaplains organized. He's the heartbeat of the chaplains unit and coordinator, along with his staff and many specialized units within the department to assist our members in their time of need. Along with the importance and seriousness of the job comes a lighthearted side that also needs to be expressed, along with his hearty laugh, which is infectious. I'm confident that if he didn't join the NYPD, he certainly had a career in vaudeville. I introduce to you Sergeant Brian Riley, recipient of our 2012 Holyname Society President's